So yeah, shout out to everyone who's locked in right now. This is your boy Firahs. This is Westside 89.6 FM. We are chilling right now. We're in that little Christmas spirit. Obviously, I'm recording right now from my dad's crib. So yeah, shout out to everybody chilling with family as well, man, over the weekend and that. But if you have been locked in on Westside, you have heard me playing pretty much the same track for the past like 4 or 5 days. And we've got her here today with us. It's a beautiful song. We're going to be getting into that later on, so make sure you stay locked in. But we have a Denyque in the building. How are you feeling?
Okay, first off, I got to tell you, it's Denyque. I'm sorry, I
I,
just find it so funny.
listen, it's that UK thing, isn't it? You know how
It's,
English people
it's
always like to make every.
definitely a UK thing, yo. Me and Sophie was laughing about that, yo. It's definitely a UK thing. So yeah, it's Denyque. Uh,
Now it's
but
funny
thank
because you know
you.
what? Everybody butchers my name as well because my stage name is Faraz,
It's
right?
Ross.
But everybody says Firahs. No one ever says my name right. So whenever I go on platform, they'll be like, yo, Firahs in the building. I'm like, of
Yo,
course it's Fire.
it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Nah, but it's
But
cool. Don't worry
I
about
guess
it.
we have to start with your musical journey. How did that kind of start? Like, where does it start from?
Um, wow, like my first, I want to say my first local hit in Jamaica, because I'm Jamaican. In
Yeah, yeah.
2010, it was a song called Summer Love. And from
Okay.
there on, my career kind of just took off. I had songs like Hooked on Me, Supergirl, Proud Wifey, Make Me Believe You. I got to work with some great producers, Jeremy Harding, um,
Yeah.
Cash Flow, Stephen McGregor,
Mm.
Don Carleone, and so good productions. So I
Yeah,
decided to take a break in 2016 because I was really young when I
yeah,
started out,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I never knew anything about the music industry. I just loved to sing. I was good at it,
Mm.
and when
Yeah,
I got in, it was a whole different ball game. I had to how I was raised. I was raised with my mom and dad, and very
yeah.
disciplined. My dad was a disciplinarian, and I never
Mm.
know nothing about streets. I never know nothing about so that was a whole new world for me.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had really good guidance, and I took it one step at a time to learn. But as my career progressed, I started to lose. I came to this kind of like purgatory, if you want to call it
Mm.
that, where I didn't like where I was going, and I didn't know
Mm.
who I was anymore, and I didn't know who I
Yeah.
wanted to be anymore. So I decided to take a step back,
Mm.
and that was 2016.
Mm.
And I went into TV. I expanded my brand, went into
Mm.
TV. I went into live TV. I did some series. I did some commercials as a
Mm.
brand ambassador for Volkswagen Jamaica, Pepsi, JetBlue, a whole lot of companies. Shout out to Lifespan Spring Water. I'm still
Ooh.
it's a
Yeah,
local, yeah, it's a local water brand in Jamaica.
that's
Um,
the
yeah, it's alkaline water too. It's really good for you. So I just had to
I like that.
shameless
I like
plug.
it. Keeping us healthy, right? Keeping us healthy.
Yes, yes, shameless plug right there. And of course,
Yeah.
coming back in 2020,
Mm.
I after I had my daughter, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to come back into music now. And I came back out with a song called Same Guy,
Mm.
with an artist called Chanel Muir. And that
Mm.
took off. And then I dropped another
Mm.
song called Knees. Then I dropped another
Yeah.
song
Yeah.
called, oh God, what was the name of that one? I don't even remember. Like I've just been head down working
Definitely. Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
now for me, it's like I'm ready again. I'm rearing. And now the
Mm.
confidence that I have now, I never had then. So it's
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
know who I'm rooted in who I am now. I know who I
Mm.
am. I know where I want to go. I know the legacy I want to leave behind.
Mhm.
So, that's the road and that's the journey. And I have a whole new team. Shout out to
Yeah.
Levels to Life Productions. My
Yeah.
single Between Me and You is doing really, really well. And the video is dope too. So the listeners can
Mm.
definitely go check it out on my website,
Yeah.
thedenyque.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Make sure you
I
go
think I
check all of
pretty
that
much
out.
gave you everything there, huh?
Yeah. No, because I gotta say, because you started off early and your accolades from an early stage is crazy. Like, I mean, you
Yeah.
got the Excellence in Music Award for Best New Artist in 2010, the
Yeah.
Manchester People's Choice Awards in 2014. That's just to name a few. You got
Yeah,
awards in 2015, 2016.
yeah,
You was nominated in 3 outstanding categories. Like
yeah,
you was outside from early.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yo.
when you decided to, take that break and work on your artistry, probably even understand the music industry better. Obviously,
Right.
you said you had a daughter as well. Congratulations on that, by the way.
I have a son
Um,
and a daughter.
and son and a daughter. Oh, even more congratulations.
Thank you.
um, when you did take that break to learn, how was that for you? And what was the things that you would say that you needed to learn yourself to be able to come back and be better in the music industry?
Well, for me, it's never to be better in any particular lane. It's just to be a better person.
Okay.
Um,
Mm,
just in life, to be able to understand the journey, to be able to the best, one of the greatest lessons I learned is that I don't have control. Like God is in
yeah,
control. I'm a Christian,
yeah,
I believe in God, and God is ultimately the one in control. And the
mm,
minute for me, like if something doesn't sit right with my energy, gotta
mhm,
blast. I'm out of there.
yeah,
So I'm what was necessary for me is to figure that out, because it starts from within. And a lot of people,
yeah,
I feel like, don't realize that. Like sometimes, life seems like it's attacking you from left to right, and sometimes it does. But I feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
perception is what also helps us to either move forward
mm,
or move back. I have this thing that I do where I say, if you take 10 steps forward and 2 steps
mhm,
back, you got to
right.
still focus on the 8 steps that you are ahead and not the 2 steps
Mm,
that you took back.
ooh, I
Because
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yo, because we tend to, as human beings, it's natural that we focus on,
mm,
oh my God, we kill ourselves over, yo, we took 2 steps back, yo, I'm failing, I'm
mhm,
done, I can't. But I feel
yeah,
like it's necessary to fail, because if you're not failing, you're not evolving. So you have to fail, figure out how you're going to pick yourself back up and keep it moving
mhm.
1 step at a time.
Ooh, I like that. So, since you've had such a long career so far, what would you say is your proudest moment so far, being in the music industry?
um, I've had so many. I don't think I've had my proudest moments. I have proud moments. Like
Yeah.
one of those proud moments is when I did the Jamaica has a concert called Reggae Sumfest. I did Sumfest
Okay.
main stage 3 years in a row, back to back. That's one of my really, really proud moments, to know that, yo, like I made it there,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
because that's a big
yeah,
stage. That's
yeah.
a concert that people from all over the world come to Jamaica to be at.
Facts.
Um, and for me, mostly, it's just I want to bring an authenticity to what I do. Like what I do is me. I don't try to
Mm,
be anybody else. I
mm,
don't want to be anybody else. I want to be me. And if you feel it, you feel it. If you love it, you love it. If you don't love it, that's
mm.
okay too. You know what I mean? I'm not made for everybody. And I know everybody drink tea, I know everybody drink Henny, I know everybody
Yeah,
drink white rum.
facts. What, Ray and nephew,
So,
yeah? Are
yeah,
you
oh
all
yeah,
right? Come
oh
on, that's
yeah,
what I was talking about. Yeah,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Nothing like Ray and nephew, bro.
Hey, listen, whenever the rum comes out, I only ever drink the Ray and nephew, because if I mix too
Have
many of
to.
the rums, yeah, it might go a bit crazy.
Have to. And have a white rum. All you need is some
Yeah.
ice and like a toops of water, and you're good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I hear it. You know the vibe. You know the vibe. I wanted to say, obviously, you are a Jamaican person as well.
Yeah.
What's the one thing from your upbringing that you've brought with you today as an artist?
So it is to be humble
Mm,
and to just be kind.
mm,
If it's one thing that my parents like drilled into us, was being mannerable. Like I treat
I like that.
everybody the same, no matter
Mm,
who you are. How I
mm,
treat you over
mhm,
time is
mm.
based on you. It's
Yes.
never, so I will hug the janitor. Like I'm that girl. I
Yeah.
hug the janitor. I
Yeah.
will hug the madman on the side of the road. I
Yeah.
will, because and the same way that I would hug a CEO of a
Mm,
multi-billion-dollar company, because
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
all, at the end of the day, we're all people. And even though you have some adults that are misguided, that make mistakes, that have been through trauma, they are
Mm,
just still, they were just kids that weren't taught certain things.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
they got to a certain place where they probably never ever took accountability or responsibility. So I feel like seeing the human the humanity in people is very, very important, because one, you never ever know what people are going through. You know what I mean? I heard a story about a girl that she was 28 years old and she took her own life. And it's like, you would never know that she was going through anything, because every day she got up, she had a smile on her face and whatever. But I feel like for me, how I treat you over time is definitely based on you. So if I start to treat you, if I start to distance myself from you, it's definitely you. Yeah, like you did something, because for like I literally like I go show out kindness every single time, because that's how I was raised. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think it's very important to carry manners, because there's a saying, I think we all know that saying, you should treat others how you would want to be treated.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, especially in this industry as well, sometimes you meet people, or like you just see things that you always wonder, like, I'm not really sure what's going on here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and obviously people always remember you. So if people meet you and you're on some madness, they will always remember you for that one little madness. So no, I really condemn what you're saying. I think that's a really good thing. I think that's a really dope thing. What's the one thing you would say you wish people knew about you that they didn't know about you?
The one thing I wish people knew about me, that I've really been through some stuff, you know, but I don't, maybe because I don't see myself as a victim in a sense, like I never ever do. I see them as lessons. Like, okay, this happened, it hurt. It really hurt. It changed me in some way, but I don't use it as a crutch. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I went through this, so everybody needs to feel sorry for me. Nah, I don't have that. So because a lot of people, like, if you ask anybody, they'll tell you, like, they always say, yo, I'm the uptown artist from Jamaica. And, you know, and yeah, they're I'm the uptown artist. I don't know nothing about hard life. And I always tend to try to remind people that hard life differs based on perception and perspective. Everybody, I feel like at some point goes through a hardness in their life. So it might not be, you know, living in the ghetto where you don't know where you're gonna eat. It might just be mental health hardness, you know, where you're fighting to stay alive. You know, you're fighting to try and figure out, or it could be some emotional thing where your parents are getting a divorce and you don't know how to handle that, because you know, for 15 years, you've seen these two together, and now all of a sudden they want to break up. And it's, you know, it's different levels of hardness. So for me, whenever people say, oh, you know, you shouldn't complain because there are people who have it worse than you. I agree to some extent, but you can't tell people how to feel, and you shouldn't tell people how to feel, because at the end of the day, everybody has different tiers and different levels of how they handle stress, how they handle pain, how they handle depression, how they handle sadness, how they handle anger, you know? So, you know, I feel like we should kind of just give grace to people when they're going through it. So yeah, I would, that's one thing I definitely want people to know, say, yo, yeah, I've been through some stuff. Not because I don't talk about it, not because I don't go on live and I don't come on the internet and complain and tell y'all my business. Nah, you know what? I take it on my chin and I keep it moving.
You just put it in the music for us. Just put it in the music.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like it's strange, isn't it? Now, I think with the way social media is now, it's almost like people feel like they have to tell us everything online. I always say, for me, if I'm dating somebody or like whatever I'm doing that's kind of like private, you don't really know about it, because I don't really feel like I need to post about it, because if I post too much about it, then I feel like I have to update. You know what I'm saying? So if I break up with my girl, now I've got to tell you I no longer have a girl. You know what I'm saying? So
be like, hey guys, so yeah, we're not together anymore.
And then you gotta wait for TMZ to holler like.
Oh my God. For real.
I want to say something. So before you became Denyque the artist,
right?
How would you describe yourself as a person growing up?
Oh God, I was a tomboy for about, I want to say, strong 14, 15 years of my life. When I was younger, I was always into arts. Me and my mom were actually just talking about this, that, you know, she said to me that, you know, because my mom, she's a great designer. Like she designs and she actually makes clothes and she's excellent at it. And I was the only one of us. It's my mom has three of us, one boy, two girls. I'm the baby. I'm the last one. And I was the one that I used to make dolly clothes and sew clothes for all my Barbies. And she said to me, she's like, yo, you know, you never stuck with it. And I'm like, but honestly, mommy, it was yours and daddy fault a little bit because I never stuck with anything for too long because I was so good at so many things. I was great at playing the piano. I was great at drawing. I was great at speaking. I was great at sports. So it's like every time I figured out that I was great at something, I kind of moved on to it. So there was no stick-to-itiveness. And the one time that I wanted to stick to something, which was football, my dad said no because there wasn't a girl team and he didn't want me to be on the boys team because you know he hated the fact that I was a tomboy because I was supposed to be his little princess, his little lady. Which thankfully I am now. I think he can rejoice. But I was a tomboy, man, and throughout high school, I had really, really low self-esteem. Like, so even though I was great at all of those things, I still struggled mentally, emotionally. Like I never felt like I was good enough. I never felt like I fit in. And you know, it was weird for me growing up until like I kind of just decided one day that I can't do that anymore. Like I need to start acknowledging. And to be honest with you, for us, like I never started doing that until I want to say a couple of years ago. Like I really like, okay, like I'm that girl. Like what?
You gotta tell yourself that you're that thing, man. You get me? Don't let no one else tell you otherwise.
And not just tell yourself that though. It has to be true. Because you know, some people tell themselves that and you're like, no, you're not. You know what I mean? But it's like like when you look back, like when I know they say don't look back, but sometimes you have to kind of look back and get introspective and be like retrospective and be like, oh shoot, but I did all that. Like I accomplished all that. Like, okay, you know what I mean? So hype yourself up. It's necessary.
Nah, I love that. I think especially in this day and age, especially when we talk about women, I feel like with social media and when it comes to the struggles of how you want to look and people searching for the likes and the comment section. I think it's very important for women to love themselves, understand that it shouldn't be about men validating you as a beautiful person. You should be able to feel that within yourself and don't change for other people. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's a beautiful message, man. I really think that's a beautiful message. So shout out to all the ladies out there, man. I'm still single, so thank you guys.
I always say a man should be a bonus. A man is always a plus. Like for me, I'm a lover girl. Like I'm a lover girl, hands down, 100%. I'm one of those girls that what Beyonce and Kelly and them sang and Cater to You, that's me. Like when girls are out here talking about who they serving first at the table and talking about they serving, I don't listen because I be serving my man first.
I always say every king needs a queen, but a queen doesn't need a king.
Absolutely.
Like women are the only ones that can live without having a partner. It's mad. Yeah.
Oh, preach for us.
There was something that you said earlier as well about having a lot of different things that you could do creatively, from art, from playing the piano. Do you think that's played a role in your music and also understanding the business? Being able to have so many different skills, does that help you in music as well?
Yeah, it does. I stopped playing the piano really early, but I know sounds and I know music and I know what I want to hear. I know what I want to feel when I listen to music. So that's why I don't jump on every track. And most of my tracks, you'll hear an R&B essence to it because I love R&B. Like that's what it is to my core. Like my new song that's about to drop in January is called Make a Wish. It's going to be off my EP that drops in February. R&B is a fusion of R&B and it's just I just feel like there's so much soul in that type of music, and but like I said, so I don't know, I can't read music like that. Like I can't read the notes and I can't tell you what those are, but I know what I'm listening for. And I can hear when I'm listening to a song, my ears, my brain is picking it apart. So I can hear down to the drums. I can hear the ad-libs really clearly. It's like my brain is shuffling it around and putting things to the forefront. So I'll be listening to the song, but I'm hearing the ad-libs as the lead. I'm hearing the drums as the lead. I'm hearing the guitar as the lead. Because I know what I'm listening for. I know what I want to hear. And when it all comes together, it's just magic. it's just magical.
No, I like that because you know one thing I want to say is because obviously I listened to a couple of your tunes as well, other than obviously
Yeah.
just My Don, and
Hey.
I can hear that because you have that like R&B Jamaican vocal
Yeah.
sound, which I think is really dope.
Thank you.
In the Jamaican music industry at the moment, is
Mhm.
there a lot of that kind of sound coming out right
No,
now? Yeah, because I was
no.
gonna say I don't hear
There's
a lot
none of
of
that
that.
sound. There's
Yeah, I
never
don't hear a
been
lot of
that
that.
sound, honestly. When I think
How?
about it and when I look
Mm,
back,
mm,
there weren't many. I was probably one of very, very few females doing that. Men were
yeah,
doing it. Like you'd had
yeah, yeah, yeah.
can't even remember right now, but you had a few men that would sing, with the R&B
Mm,
flavor, but no, it's not in there. And so I'm
mm,
like, no, that's me. That's who I am. And now
mm,
I'm finally at a place, this confidence, this level of conviction that I know that,
mm,
okay, I know who I am. I know what I want to be. This is the
yeah,
music that I want to do. And I'm gonna
yeah, yeah,
finally
yeah,
be
yeah.
able to do that because
Mm,
before I wasn't doing the music I wanted to do because I
yeah,
was with a local label and they were like,
yeah,
yo, dancehall, 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 and I'm like,
yeah. That's the
I love
thing.
dancehall culture,
Yeah,
but I gotta put the me in the dance hall. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I
yeah,
gotta put
yeah,
the
yeah,
me into it because at the end of the day, that's
yeah.
what people love. Like when they listen
Mm,
to my music, they want
mm,
to love me for my music.
mm.
Everything has got to coincide.
Yeah, because that's the first thing I really noticed when I heard My Don was the mixture of the two cultures in essence, because you don't always hear super dope vocals on a
Hey,
dancehall
thank you.
sounding tune, but then it has like R&B flavor. Like it's
Right.
so dope. How
Thank
do
you.
people take you? Like how do people react to it back in Jamaica?
People love My Dawn because My Dawn is the rawest song I've ever done. So if you listen
Yeah,
to, which I know you can't play the raw version on radio, but
yeah, yeah,
when you listen to the raw version, nobody expects, because like I told you, they portray me as um who can I say? I want to say maybe the like the Sierra in a sense, because Sierra was the good
yeah,
girl, Rihanna was the bad
yeah, yeah,
girl.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
now I'm coming out with that sound now, and they're like, "Yo, okay, I love this." Most of the comments are like, "I love this new you. I love this new
Mm,
version. I like, because
yeah,
it's like, I'm grown now. I've got two
mm,
kids. Like, come on.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah,
I feel like
bro.
now
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
liberated. Like, I am now allowed to sing songs like this. Well, let me not say that. I have now allowed myself to
yeah.
sing songs like this, and
Yeah, yeah,
but I still needed it to be sweet because that's my
yeah.
thing. Like it still
Mm,
needs to sound sweet. Yes,
yeah,
emotive. It needs to jerk emotions. People need to be able to relate. But at the same
mm,
time, it still needs to have this sweetness to it that is like, okay, yeah. And it was the same thing with Between Me and You.
mm,
The sweetness to it and it's catchy. So people are like,
yeah,
okay, yeah, okay. I like it. I like it.
yeah. Nah, that's though. Now talking of My Don as well. How did that song kind of come about? Like, talk to us through the process.
Yeah.
How do you get the beat? How did it all come about?
That was random. That was okay. So the beat, shout out to Weekday, by the way. I have to big him up. He is the sweetest guy ever.
Mm,
But I got sent that beat by Javi, and it was their
mm,
next project. 450 was coming out with his song, Wild and Rich. And Javi was
yeah,
like, yo, I, he's followed my career all these years. We've known each other for a really long time. And he's like,
mm,
yo, I need you on this beat. Like this beat is perfect for your voice. And I'm
mm,
like, okay. I came up with like two songs first. I didn't love them. And then
mm.
I linked up with one of my writers
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
I heard My Dawn. And when I heard that hook and
yeah,
the flow, I was like, this is what it's gonna be. All I did,
yeah,
well, so the raw version, that was all her. I
yeah,
the one we play on radio, that's me.
yeah.
Yeah, so the radio edit, that's me, but the raw version, shout out to M Sosa, man. She is so dope, such a dope writer. And so we co-wrote that together. And yeah, and we recorded it. I recorded it in one shot. Yo, they were in the studio, they were like, how you do that just one time? So like one go.
One take, and that's God.
Just
That
one
just shows
take,
you got the
man.
talent.
Yeah, and
I
it was
love
just like,
that.
okay, like You know, so yeah, that was how that came about. I was excited to do that track because you know
Mm.
I love it. I love the track. I love how it feels. You know, and I sing, and that's for
Yeah,
me. Like I do things that feel good. Like if I don't feel good about it, I'm not gonna
mm,
do it.
yeah.
I
I
gotta
think
feel good about it.
I think what's dope with this track is like I know the song is not really for the mandem, but it's like I feel like I could
You
still
want to
sing
sing it,
along to it.
right?
Like I'm talking about my thing. You get me?
No, for
Like,
real. For real.
it's,
And I say it to all my guy friends. They're like, yo, you need to stop make song for the woman, the man make song for the man. And I'm like, but bruv, if you listen to the hook, like your girl can be a done. Like, yo,
yeah,
she's your done.
so I'm
Straight up.
saying
Because a
it's
king,
true.
like I like people don't understand. I'm like, you guys did not watch enough of those movies from the
Mm.
16th, 17th century. Like the king didn't make a lot of decisions without his queen. Like
Right?
he needed her, you know?
Yeah,
So if that's just like Kevin Hart said, his wife is his rib, bruh. If that's
yeah,
your done,
it's
that's
true.
your done.
It's true. It's such a simple sing along track. Like for anyone who
It
hasn't
is.
heard it yet, I mean, you're gonna hear it again because when we play this
Hey,
straight after this, you'll hear it straight on radio. It's so catchy and it's fun. And
thank you.
I think what's very important with people with music from different cultures, obviously I'm African, obviously you're
Hmm.
from the Caribbean, is when we make it accessible internationally. Like
Yes.
this track is something that you don't have to be from the Caribbean to like it. You get what I'm
No,
saying?
no.
Everyone can sing along to it.
Yep.
Was that something you was trying to do with this track, or is it just something that happened?
Honestly, for me, that's what I do with my music, because I want my music to be internationally
Yeah,
received and loved.
right, right.
Um, but for this song, no, honestly, I think it just happened. Like even a lot of my US fan base, like they're like, yo,
Mm,
I have this on repeat. And the thing is, it's because, like you said, it's simple. It's ABC. You are
yeah.
my don. You are my don. You are my don. When I heard my daughter singing this song, my daughter is 3. When I heard her singing "You Are My Don," I'm like, "Yep,
That's the
yep,
one.
that's the one."
That's when you know you got a big hitter, man. Now,
Yep,
honestly, I fully appreciate you and I hope you got big success with this single. And you know, when the project comes out, I can't wait to hear that one as well. That should be
absolutely.
exciting. That should be exciting. I love to ask artists that I interview to give advice to the people. A lot of our audiences are young, up and coming musicians,
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. They all want to know how to get into any form of business. What would be your advice to anybody who wants to get into the entertainment business? Because obviously you worked in TV as well, so I feel like
Yeah,
you're able to give a perspective that's very different. Being a mother as well, that can
yeah.
also be a stumbling block for a lot of people. So, what would
Mhm.
be your advice to somebody who let's put them in your shoes? I'm a
Right.
mother of 2. What
Mhm.
would be your advice for someone in that position who wants to either get into music or TV and any forms of entertainment?
Um, I would say a lot of it is networking.
Mm, mm,
A lot of it, I don't like to use the word luck, so I'll say a lot of it is blessings. And
yeah.
a lot of it also is most of it, like I said in the beginning, it starts from within. You got to
Mm,
have a strong foundation within yourself, a strong
yeah.
sense of self. Who
Mm,
are you? What do you want to accomplish? When you get knocked down, you have to be able to get back up again and try again a different way.
yeah.
And yes, we have to know when to. I also don't like to use these words give up. So we have to
Yeah.
also know when to kind of retreat. You know, if you have done every single thing that you can do
Hmm.
to make something work and it
Hmm.
hasn't worked,
Hmm.
personally, I think maybe that's just not for you. And we
Yeah.
got to find a different way, because a lot of the times too, we forget that the path that we have for ourselves might not
Hmm.
be the path that God has for us. So
Facts.
that's another
Yeah.
thing too, you know. So I'd say get deeper into spirituality, whatever you believe
Mm,
in. You know, even if
mhm.
you don't believe in God, like I believe in God. So
Yeah.
I'm but for the people that don't, you know, whatever your
Yeah. Yeah.
spirituality is, whatever your
Mm,
journey is, get connected deeper with that and connected with yourself, a deeper sense of self, and unlearn some things, man. Unlearn a
yeah.
whole heap of
For
things. A
real.
lot of times we forget that our parents did the best that they could with what they knew. They didn't know it all. They didn't have it figured out. So if
It's
you're older
true.
now and you realize that, oh, you know, my mom and dad didn't teach me that, it's because they didn't know how. So now that you know better, you got to do
Mhm.
better and understand too that choosing to move forward is not
Mm.
necessarily a choice. It's a habit that you have
Yeah.
to pick up. You know what I mean? Choices are habits, and you gotta work towards it. It's like when you get into a relationship and you think that, oh, everything is just gonna fall in place. Nah, that's your job now. That's your job
No,
now.
it's true.
It's
It's
easy.
true.
It's Faraz, I always tell people it's easy to get in the door. Like, I love
Yeah.
everybody. It's
Yeah.
easy to love.
It's
But am I
true.
gonna stay?
Yeah.
I don't know. So
Ooh,
it's
it's a good
easy to
one.
get in
Yeah.
the door. But to stay in that room, it's going to be dependent on a whole lot of other factors. And you have to have a strong sense of self, morals, principles, values. I know we're in a generation now where they glorify everything negative. Yo, let's get back to the basics, yo. Manners, principles, morals, values, class. Those are still very, very important things. So let's rock with it.
It's true.
Oh, and of
Now,
course,
listen.
go to school, get educated.
Oh, yeah, 100%. We still need education, guys. We still need
Absolutely.
education.
Because boy, I read some things sometimes, some comments sometimes, and I'm like, oh my God.
The comment section can be crazy sometimes.
Crazy.
Crazy. Hey, listen. No, honestly, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you too.
Obviously, for people who still don't know, this is our girl Denyque, all the way from Jamaica with that big hit, My Done. So make sure you go stream that everywhere. Obviously, you can go check it on YouTube as well. So go check it out there if you want to jump on that. So yeah, thank you very much for coming on. Do you want to shout out your social media handles and all of that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me. Shout out to the Westside FM, the whole crew. Big up on yourself. Enough love. Shout out to the entire UK, the entire world that's listening right now. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I appreciate you. Big ups to Sophie. Big ups to Trilla. Big ups to my entire team. Shout out to Levels to Life. You don't know how it got locked in. Ain't no switching up. Shout out to Bling Blang. My socials are at the Denyque, and it's TheDenyQue, and that's on Instagram. On TikTok, it's at It's Denyque. When I'm honestly, I do pure foolishness on TikTok. So I mean, if you want jokes, you can go over there. And then my website. Absolutely. And youtube.com/Denyque. And of course, my website is thedenyque.com. If you want to listen to some music, if you want to get some merch, whatever you want to do over there, you could do it. Watch some videos. Everything is on there. So yeah. And of course, go stream between me and you. Go stream My Done and listen out. Firahs is gonna have it first. You know how it go. Make a Wish drops January 5th. So make sure you guys listen out for that too. It's gonna be dope.
Coming up next, it's My Done by Denyque. There you go. Now, thank you.